A magical day is an introduction to a unit called Holistic Academic and Research Reflective Practice. These are online face-to-face seminars that are offered to students as part of the core units engaging with education research in semester 1 and educational research methods in semester 2. So you have your main unit where there's a lot of theory provided and you have your assessments and so on and so forth. And we're on the side complementing this unit by providing seminars, sessions where you can actually come and reflect on your academic journeys. What expectations does the university have now that I am studying an MA? And one of the main expectations is that you are becoming an independent learner, a learner who is constantly reflecting on the decisions that you need to be taking. So you need to start taking decisions, taking charge, and being in control of your academic studies. So what do we mean by independent learner? Is you trying to make sense of what you really want to do in life. It is so, for me, when I was in Mexico, it was so, what's the word? Common to see that you're basically are told what to do. Yeah, you don't think about what you want to do because you have mom and dad and family and teachers telling you where to go and how to do things. But when I came to the UK, nobody tells you what to do, how to do things. You need to find your way of doing things. And one space that we're offering in these online sessions is for you to start becoming that independent learner. And for that, you need to develop the habit of being reflective. So we'll tell you more about this unit and how it complements your core units of research methods. I'm summarizing those 2 units of education, engaging with education research and educational research methods in 2 words, research methods. So there we are. That's us. You have been listening to us now for 5 minutes. Bobby, you want to say more about yourself?
Yeah, just a really brief introduction. I did my master's here at the University of Manchester. I'm also doing my PhD here. I'm in my final year. I work across several courses here. I work on the international ed. I work on the education leadership and the MSc for education as well. I think I'm doing a bit for the undergrad as well this year. So you're going to see me around quite a bit. I really enjoyed my time here at Manchester and I'm really looking forward to working with you again this year. So yeah, really looking forward to meeting you all and actually having some proper face-to-face chats for everybody that's actually in Manchester this year, which is unusual.
Yes, and we have this new hybrid environment, isn't it, at the university? I mean, HARRP has always been thought to be online, especially because the numbers of students were huge and have been huge for a long time. So it's hard to manage, spaces and find rooms to meet. So that's why we're doing this online, and this will carry on being online throughout the year. Exactly where we are, you're provided with a Zoom link. You can be in Manchester, you can be in Mexico, you can be in Ireland, I don't know, and you just join for an hour and talk to other people. So that's me. As I said, I'm originally from Mexico. I did my MA in TESOL in 2013 at this university, and then I did my PhD. And after my PhD, I was working as a senior tutor. And then this year I started finally being hired as a lecturer. And I'll be teaching in different modules. I have a module that is called Language Learning and Technology. And there's another module called Developing Researcher Reflexivity that is actually very connected to what we're going to be doing in HARRP. The aim of the session, well, we're here to start with a reflective session. We want you to start thinking about your individual values and also to think about your previous academic experiences and your current new experience as a student at the University of Manchester, and also your future experience as a researcher. In semester 2, you're going to be asked to conduct research. And I know it's too early to think about those things, but it's always a good time to have some idea of what are the things that are important to you, because those things that are important to you are going to inform the decisions that you will be taking whenever you start deciding, oh, I'm interested in this topic. Why am I interested in this topic? Oh, why is this topic important to me? So that's the kind of connection we want to help you start making today. When we talk about values, values are things that matter to you in life, in how you live, in how you work. So that's it. Those are the things that we're going to be exploring today. Well, we'll go through our online etiquette for this session. We're setting up the rules of the game, yeah? If possible, please feel free to share your video. And the reason for that is because we know that 70% of how we communicate with others is body language. We want to see your face. Sometimes I look at you to see if you're nodding, if you're understanding. If I see you that you're scratching your head, it's probably because you have a question. So I like to read, those messages that are going on whenever you are on the other side of the screen. And this will help you as well when you interact with other students to see if they're understanding what you're saying, if they have questions. You may see that they're like thinking, and they probably will ask you a very serious question. You like to see when people are laughing because that is contagious. So we're going to treat this session as if we are in a face-to-face interaction, and all of the sessions in HARRP. So we're going to invite you to go to a breakout room later on, and that is the moment, where you can open your camera. As we can see on the screen, can you see my screen, by the way? I didn't even, okay, good. The communication process is the same, but what we are using to mediate that communication is Zoom. And you need to get used to the features of Zoom. How can I share my camera? How do I mute myself? So we're trying to reinforce an etiquette, a way of, acting when we are logged into a session that is going to be running online or in a hybrid way. So it's, explore Zoom on your own time, see where is the button of reactions, where is the chat, utilize all those functions that there are very, very important. If you're sharing your screen and you want to put, a background as I have, you go into the icon that says video, and you have an up arrow or down arrow. I don't know now if they've changed it. Click there and then choose the option change or put, or it says something about virtual background, and then you have some options to choose from. So that's the guy there. He chose the space one. Virtual backgrounds are just a way to keep that conversation private, especially some students, now that we can interact and go and do, study from home or study from a coffee shop. If you're in a public space with your headphones on, you really don't want people to see that, people in the back are eating a sandwich or something like that. So put your virtual background, and that will protect other people's privacy as well. If you cannot listen to each other, it's probably because you need to work out your settings. So check your settings, your cameras or audio and video settings, and you can do that in that arrow next to those two icons. When we send you to a breakout room to work together, we want you to be actively participating, talk to each other, choose somebody that is going to act as a spokesperson. That is the person that when we call you back to plenary is this, where all students, with tutors all together. So choose someone who's going to represent your group. So that's someone that can speak and feedback the conversation that you had. Take turns and keep an eye on time as well. Okay, so we're going to set up now the task. You received by email a handout. We will put the handout again in the chat box, don't worry. But I'll tell you about the instructions just to see if you have any questions. For the first 20 minutes of your interaction, you're going to interview each other. Yeah, for that, you have already some questions that we have for you in the handout. And then after those 20 minutes, take turns, yeah? Act as an interviewer and then be the interviewee. And then you can be, if there's more than, I don't know, 5 people in the room, while other people are having conversation, you can take notes. It's important to take notes because that's going to help you then to summarize your conversation. Then you're going to have 10 minutes additional to the 20 minutes, in total 30 minutes, to discuss and reflect about this, this conversation, this interview that you had. All of the instructions are in that handout, and I'm going to put the handout now on the chat box. You will see it there, but you also have it in your email. And it's going to pop up now in the chat box. So click on that, download it, because you're going to need it for your conversation, yeah? Okay, so as I was saying, take turns to interview each other. You have the questions there. You can, if you're 4 people in the room, you can take 5 minutes for each interview. Take notes, very, very important. And for your task 2, you're going to continue reflecting on the conversation that you have. And we're going to, do an online activity just to see more about, what your conversation was about. That's it. So before we send you out, I want you to remember 2 things. There's no right or wrong answer. You're here to talk to each other, to get to know people. So this is a fun exercise, yeah? Enjoy your conversations. If you feel like you're shy, remember that other people are also shy, but we need to have this attitude of, okay, I want to participate today, take the lead. And one more thing to remember, a magical day, what do we mean by magical day? Is a day in which you can do anything you want, anything. So before I send you out, I want to ask if you have any questions about these instructions.
Sorry, there we go. Everyone's filing back in. There we are. For everybody that's just coming back in from their groups now, can I just remind everybody to put themselves back on mute, because when you're back in from the breakout rooms, it leaves your mic on. The reason why we ask you to mute yourselves isn't because we don't like listening to your lovely voices, it's because we get feedback. So you'll often just hear random noises from other people, or you might hear my voice repeated. So this is why we ask everybody to put themselves on mute. I think everybody's back now. So I went around a couple of people's conversations then. It was really lovely to get to know some of you a bit better. Some great interviews going on, some excellent interview skills being used already. So what we're going to do now is do the second task from today. So Nayeli is just bringing up the Menti. Could you share, there we go. Mind reader, aren't you, Nayeli? So in the group chat now, Nayeli's just shared a Menti, oh, there we go, we've got it on the shared screen as well. So we've got a link there for menti.com. If you could put in that code when you go to menti.com, it will ask you a couple of questions. And if you could please just fill that in for us now, we'll go through it. So that's going to Menti, and it's the code 41963473, and we would just love to hear your feedback on a couple of these questions. So the first question that we've got here on Menti is, in a few words, please tell us what is important to you as a student. So we've already got quite a few responses on here already. So should we go through a couple of these then, Nayeli?
Yeah, let's do that. So I think, well, one of the ones I've seen it just moves right away was support and community. One of the things through this activity of the magical day that we were trying you to think about is why is having the support of a community important? When we're starting a new journey, a new experience, it's good to have someone to share that experience with and to learn together about that experience and from each other. Obviously, although we may be experiencing similar things, we are learning different things as well. And we're making sense of those experiences in a different way. So I think that for me is very, very important to carry on doing in all of your sessions. And in HARRP, this is something that we encourage you to do. As you have realized, you spend almost 35 minutes talking to each other. And sometimes students think, well, this is a long time. What am I going to talk to people? Well, you are experiencing so many things, so many different units, that this is a space for you to start making sense of those things that you have learned. And more importantly, making sense about how these new interactions are helping you to develop as a person, as a student, how these interactions are helping you to understand what you want to do in the future. I think that for me was like, oh, spot on. How about you, the ones you've seen, Bobby?
I've just seen two that link so well together. One is about keeping healthy, both physically and mentally. And another one on here was taking a time away from studies to breathe and meditate. And I think they're so important, especially during a master's course. So compared to doing an undergrad, which is, you know, split over 3 years, a master's seems really intense. We ask a lot of you within just 1 year. Some of you might be on a 2-year course doing it part-time, but for most people here, this is a lot to take in a very short amount of time. And it's just to really let you know that we understand that you are all human beings. You're all individuals and peoples with your own problems going on back at home. And it's so important that you take that time to look after yourself during your studies here. My PhD is actually within mental health, so I do a lot about crisis care within mental health, so I'm so passionate about this. So I really just want to ensure that to all of you, give yourself time off. Go and explore Manchester if you're in Manchester. If you're at home, have a bubble bath. Do the things that you still love. If you love tennis, if you love exercise, if you love walking, keep that up. Don't worry, your master's is an important period of your life, but the way to perform the best is to actually keep your mind healthy during this process. So yeah, that was one that really just stood out to me then. How about one for you, Naili?
Another thing that I've read was having this attitude as a learner. So what does that mean? It could mean many things, but at least from my own experience, having an attitude of being proactive, interactive, communicative. As I said to you in the beginning of the sessions, the expectation is for you to take the lead in your learning. So there's the expectation in different units for you to participate in class, to ask questions, to probably share your experiences if you have any, or your understandings of the materials. And that is, for me, having that learning attitude, or the attitude of a learner that is taking control of their own learning process and their own development. As I said, you know, this is a moment for everybody to do things differently. And one of the things of doing this is by being actively doing stuff. And I was so happy to see all, you know, when I visited these different rooms, that people are engaging, people were talking, people were sharing the screen, speaking on microphone, using the chat. There was 1-2 rooms that were sharing a screen. Good. That is what we want to see in all of our sessions throughout the university, and especially in HARRP. This is for you. This is a space for you to have conversations, and this is a moment for us to learn from you. So this is not a space for you to just listen to us. We want to listen to you. So that is very important to keep in mind. What else? Shall we move on to the next bit? Yeah.
Yeah, I think we can move on to the next bit. But while you're moving on to the next bit, I just want to say one about here, which has come up in this session. Also, we did a session before for DTC and leadership, is communication. So communication is key throughout this process. And I saw on there that people want to communicate well with their peers here, and then also their tutors as well. So a lot of this revolves around confidence. So it's about confidence to be able to express yourselves. A lot of people from previous years have felt quite self-conscious expressing themselves, especially when English is their second language. One thing that we just constantly want to reiterate to all of our students is that it is okay to make mistakes when you are talking, when you're communicating with us. English is my first language and I constantly make mistakes, and it is perfectly fine. If you don't understand us as well, ask us to repeat ourselves. Nobody's going to take offense to it. It's completely understandable. We have the utmost just, what would you call it? We just really value the fact that you are speaking in your second language here. There is no judgment, and we just think it's really impressive.
Yes, I think you're
Your homeland, yeah.
There you go. You froze for a second, but you're back.
Okay, cool. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I completely second that. You know, the idea of communication. My first language is Spanish, and I had to learn English. And I was very shy in the very beginning of my studies. But then I stopped worrying about creating the perfect sentence. Oh, is this grammatically correct? You know, and then I just started being more interested in having a conversation, in actually engaging in that conversation and communicating, conveying that message. I didn't worry if it was a perfect message to, you know, grammatically correct. It was more about, oh, if we understand each other and our English is not perfect, let's carry on doing it, because the more we do it, the more confident we feel. And that's how you start growing and stop worrying about things that are not that important. If you make yourself being understood by other people, that is fine, completely fine, you know, not judgment. I think that is very good, and something to keep in mind. Sometimes that is what stops us to participate. So if we stop worrying about that and we go, okay, what is my purpose? I want to convey this message. Just say it. It doesn't matter how it comes out, you know, it's okay. So we have a second question. If you can answer that question as well, it's in the same chat, same link, same code. It's the next slide. And the question is, what values did you identify in what is important to you? So what are the values there that you think are very, well, that you know, get your attention, Bobby?
I mean, one of the biggest ones there is creativity by the looks of things. So yeah, I think creativity is so important. And when you're writing your essays this year for your assignments, and also when you're doing your dissertation, another word for creativity could also be, or a way that you can bring creativity into your assignments, is thinking outside of the box. One of the things that will always push you into those top marks of those dissertations is that novel thinking. And really, to have that novel thinking within your assignments, it's bringing in that creativity from other aspects. So, for example, I got asked in one of the groups before was, you know, how would I link cooking to a skill that I have, you know, within my studies? And I said, well, think about it. Like, if you're really good at cooking, you must be really good at time management. You must be able to know exactly when to put what ingredients in where. There's a lot of organization that goes into that. And that's so integral to writing a good assignment. And it's about thinking outside of the box. And when we think reflexively, we're doing that. We're tapping into a different kind of thinking. We're asking more questions. We're asking why. And that's what these sessions really help you do. They help bring your creativity into your assignments. What about you, Naili? What else can you see?
Another value that I see that is very clearly in the cloud is critical thinking. Yeah. As you were mentioning before, I think it goes really well with creativity, because when we're thinking critically, we need that experience, we need that understanding of the world, and everybody has an understanding of the world. Yeah, whatever you were born, you think about the world in specific ways, and you have values, you have beliefs, you have understandings, and all of those are very important, because they're going to inform the decisions that you take. And one big part of becoming an independent learner, a critical thinker, and a reflective participant of conversations is actually getting into the habit of stopping, thinking, and recognizing, oh, why am I saying this? Oh, what happened in my life that is influencing the way I see things and understand the world? And when you get to recognize your beliefs, your understandings, what is making you think in certain ways, this is the moment where you start operationalizing critical thinking. And that's why being reflective and developing the ability of becoming a reflexive academic, a reflexive researcher is gonna be very, very important. Yeah. What else can we say about this? Well, we have so many others that we don't want to miss, but yes, please do share your thoughts. And we're going to move on because I know I'm mindful of time and that we have the last things. What we wanted to do with this introductory session about what we do in HARRP is, as I said in the beginning, to get you thinking about your values, to help you discover what's truly important to you, because this is going to help you to take decisions. During your studies, you're going to decide, oh, what topic you're going to write for your dissertation or for your assignment. And sometimes, as I said before, it's so easy to tell me, tutor, tell me what I should write. And this is not the space. Actually, the tutors will tell you, well, what do you like? And you're like, oh, what do I like? What are you interested in? Oh, what am I interested in? So it's all about you. And this is what we need to be practicing. What is important to you? What are the decisions that you're going to be taking? And for that, as we mentioned, spot on, creativity, criticality, reflexivity, those are the values that we will try to build up as we go along during these sessions and build up that learning community. And yeah, just to also link back to those core units of research methods, during this session, you also practiced a lot of skills. You interview each other, so you have now a little bit of practice of interviewing skills, analytical skills, as you were writing and texting us your values and the things that were important to you. We were kind of analyzing the shared values that we all as a new community have. You reflected on what a magical day is for you. You interpreted stories that other people told you. And as we were saying before, you communicate with one another. And if you didn't have the chance to talk, then you were there as an observer, someone who's interpreting the conversation, someone who's taking notes and actually, making sense of things. And that is all related to research methods. So what we want you to realize here is that HARRP is a session or sessions or a series of sessions. It's okay. Series of sessions that will complement that core unit. And I'm just going to show you this PowerPoint here. So we have the core units of research methods. This is where you learn all about the theories of the different ways of doing research. And then you also have the support of DAC. You probably had a session today at 10 o'clock. DAC is another support, another student support, where you go there and start practicing study skills. And then you come in HARRP, and this is a space for you to communicate with one another, to interact with other peers, to have those conversations, to reflect, and also to operationalize all of those different skills that you developed in these other units. And that's how these connect. These different sessions connect to one another. So what is important is that these different spaces that we're offering are for you to develop professionally. So this is where you start taking decisions and say, should I attend one, the other, or the three? The more you attend, the more sessions you will benefit from if you attend all of these different units that are there to provide the support that we think you need as you are carrying on your MA programs. So please do make the most out of these different options that we have available for you. One last thing as well, that's what I was saying, that's how we connect to one another. When you get into semester 2, you're going to be asked to write a reflective research proposal. And some students get really scared about the word reflective because they have never, it's an abstract concept. They've never done it. But if you attend HARRP, you're going to start putting into practice your reflective skills. And therefore, you're not going to be surprised when somebody tells you, write a reflective research proposal, because you will be already practicing those skills that you need in order to write up that assignment. So that's the importance of, attending these different sessions that we offer. The main materials for HARRP are in Canvas. We're not using Blackboard, we're using Canvas. And the reason for that is because Canvas, it kind of gives a better sense of building a community. So you have a chance to create your profile, to talk to other people, and that is more user-friendly. It's not that institutionalized. But that is information. I'm going to send this by the end of today's session so that you can join us. Actually, I've seen a lot of people, I don't know if you've explored this, Bobby, but I've seen a lot of people now joining us in Canvas. So we have lots of students, and I'm glad to see that people are putting their profile pictures there. It's very, very important, to create your profile. I don't know if I click on your picture, Bobby, let's see. I can get to know more about you, especially if you go into the editing section and you put your biography. Oh, I know who you are, where you're coming from, and that I get to know my peers. And that is important, to get to know each other as well. So yes, those, that information about Canvas is going to be sent to you by email today. Sessions for HARRP are going to be done on Friday, from 3 to 4 p.m. in Zoom. This is the link. I know it could be too late in China, but if you are awake, I know that a lot of people work better when they are working at night. So if you have the time, please join us. If not, well, we'll try to put materials for you to explore on your own time. Week 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. And there's an official website. So if you click on that, it'll take you to this space for you to explore more about how we work, what we do, what other people have said about these interactions, and there are videos for you to explore. You can also see the program. I've already shown you that on the screen, to see what kind of things are we going to be discussing in week 1, week 3, blah, blah, blah. And also we're also providing information about the links to the unit education research that you have in semester 1. What else? Let's go back to that presentation here. Where can I find more about this unit? Somebody asked in the previous session. So on your main Blackboard, you have different units. I have a lot because I teach in different units, so don't worry about that. So you need to look for the unit that says engaging with education research. When you click on that, you'll see on the left-hand side of the menu a tab that says HARRP face-to-face online seminars. And the same information that I just shown you on the screen, it's there. All of that information is there. You know, some emails, how to join Canvas, and then you also have a link to our website. Yeah, so there you go. I'll stop sharing my screen. Any final thoughts or comments or questions before we say our goodbye?
There's been a question on the chat, Miley, about can you send the link of Canvas here?
Yeah, let's see if I can copy and paste it. So there are 2 ways you can join the Canvas space, and that is 2 links that you can try. So you probably need to create an account in Canvas and then roll into the course, or you can do it at the same time. So one of those 2 links are going to be good to click on. We don't have a face-to-face class on campus. We only have it online, just exactly here as we're doing it now on Zoom.
Can we
Yes,
find the pre-session things? Yeah, you can find all the pre-session material on Canvas as well. So everything that
yes.
happens on HARRP, it's all put on Canvas rather than on Blackboard. So Canvas is the best place to sign up for with this.
Yeah. So all the materials for this week are already in this space. It says a magical day welcome week. So when you click on there, you'll see the slides, you see the reflective handout. And that's why it's important to join, because you'll get all the materials that are needed. The materials for next week, week 1, are already there. So if you start exploring the space, you will get to see what is reflection, how to be reflective. But you have some videos already, which you can already start seeing on your own time. Yeah, definitely join us, and I think that's the best thing you could do. There's also the Zoom link. You have a bit there. You have a welcome page where you can see who we are, who your tutors are. I need to fix that picture that it doesn't come up. And I've just noticed you have information. You have everything you need to know in Canvas. The sessions, what is a pre-session, what are the materials you need, how we work, everything is in there. I think the important thing is to join and then to start exploring the information.
We've got somebody here saying that they've not used Canvas before, and so they're not very confident about using it. So the reason why we've used Canvas is because it's actually a lot more user-friendly than Blackboard. So people tend to find Blackboard very chunky and it's hard to find material sometimes. So this is why we've chosen to use Canvas here, is because it's actually a lot more user-friendly. We've also got, what if I have an account with another university, should I make a new account? That's a question. I'm not 100% sure about that, Melly. Do you know that?
I think we would like you to join with your university email, because when we click on people here, and there's actually a setting that, yeah, if you join with your university email, we know that, you know, you're coming from the University of Manchester, and I will probably be making an announcement. If you have joined with any personal emails, join again with your university email, because these emails that are not from the university may disappear. So it's better just to join with your university email. Somebody said, I don't know how to use Canvas. Well, in the modules, there's the first bit is how to use Canvas. And you have a series of video explanations of how to use it. The main thing to do when you go into Canvas is to get to know. You just sometimes need to spend a few minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, just to explore the different features. And you'll see that it's super easy. It doesn't need much thinking, to be honest. When you are as in the view of a student, you only see 6 different tabs. So there's a home tab where you can see all the different sessions. We have week 1, magical day, all the information. And then you have the tab of announcements, which already has information in announcements. So I've been asking people to create their profiles. So, and I give you, I put a video there on how to create your profile, how to update your picture. So everything is in there, and as much as we can, we will give you some guidance, but it's important as well that you take some time to explore the space.
It's not hard, so don't stress too much about it. But we do have somebody here that said that there's no course information in their Canvas right now. Is that right? I don't think you signed up for the HARRP module then. Is there a certain way of doing that, Melly?
So if there's no information in my Canvas, it's probably because you haven't joined us. So if you go into your dashboard, so on the left menu, the main menu on the left, you have dashboard. And if you see HARRP like this, then you are enrolled. If you don't see HARRP, it's because you haven't been accepted. You know, sometimes I need to accept people manually. So you know, you can wait 2, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. If by tomorrow you don't appear there, send me an email, yeah, and then I'll try to help you join. But if you already belong to Canvas and you have a dashboard, you'll see all the different courses that you have. And yeah, so we should be appearing there. probably if this is the first time you use this platform, you only see one course. Yeah, you found it. Very good. Excellent.
Then I think we've got another question here a little bit further up. That is there any credit for this course?
No,
no.
it's entirely voluntarily. This is for you to develop professionally, personally, and this is for you to, yeah, this is for you to develop as a person, I think. And also remember that it's not something disconnected. Actually, this is very, very connected to your modules of research methods. And more importantly, to your dissertation for semester 2. Yeah. So all the support that you will be needed, we're trying to provide it from semester 1 to give you, you know, a little bit of things that you need so that when you get to the write your dissertation, you have all the things that you need at once, rather than rushing everything that you need at the very, very end. We're starting from semester 2, little by little, building information, building the practice of being reflective, so that then you put in all of that you learned throughout the year at the end of your unit, which is your dissertation. Yeah.
So one thing to remember about your dissertation is that there are no actual taught sessions for your dissertation. You'll have meetings with your supervisor, but besides that, this is a really good unit to help you with that and about developing that, especially in semester 2, when we bring in your dissertation in most weeks. Someone's asked, do we have it on a Friday? Yes, we have it on Fridays. Nelly's already put that on them. But so we start next week, and then it's every other Friday. So it's once every 2 weeks that we have this session. So don't worry, we're not going to take up every single Friday. So don't worry about that.
But to know when, and you know that in Canvas you'll see HARRP program. When you click on there, you'll be able to see the day, 1st of October next week from 3 to 4. This is what we're doing.
Are there any more questions from anyone? I think that's it then.
Excellent. Well, thank you all for coming. We're looking forward to seeing you soon, and keep this attitude. I like this attitude with this row, you know, very active people, people that are willing to communicate. Keep doing that, because you're going to need it for all of your units. And we'll see you next week. Thank you all for coming. I'll give you a heart. Hey. Have a good day. See you all. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thanks everybody for coming.